Hi, Taurus, and welcome to our July 2021 reading. I'm taking a deep breath. I'm having a little jittery energy today as I sit down, and it was making me think about, I do have jittery days personally, and it was making me think about how much my practice of like coming back to some calm energy is so powerful, and maybe having some nice chat with the grounded Taurus family would be a good place to start my day. So, I really love July for you all. It is a season of like symbiosis, all that energy moving through Cancer. We have that new moon, we have the sun moving through Cancer, we have Mercury moving through Cancer. We even have, we have all this energy moving through Cancer. And this is really flowing for you. It's very receptive to your earth energy, right? So this is already a very creative space. It also activates your voice, your truth, and practicing expressing yourself to others and to the world around you, right? And to communicating. It's a very high emphasis, strong emphasis on communication during Cancer season for you all, and really expressing your needs, your thoughts, your desires, your ideas, which is really great. It's really healthy, right, to have some support and some clarity on that. But it can also be a little vulnerable, a little intimidating to be kind of encouraged and guided to saying really, really true things. So many of us are taught to suppress, and we've talked about that. We were talking about that last month. We also have energy starting to pour into Leo and Virgo this month. Venus is going to move through Leo and move on to Virgo. Mars is moving through Leo and on into Virgo this month. And Mercury will move into Leo. So we're starting to also get into how you self-mother and how you express your heart. So all of these themes are going to be coming up. Not only that, as we have energy starting to move into Leo, another fixed sign, and a full moon in Aquarius, another fixed sign, plus Jupiter moving back into Aquarius. Taurus, you're going to notice that we're getting back into that season that, right now fixed signs are going through it because we have Uranus and we have Saturn doing the work in Aquarius and Taurus. That this is that time of like really facing your truths. Now, with all that being said, this is generally a very supportive month. We have a lot of outer planets in retrograde, right? We've got Jupiter, Saturn, Neptune, and Pluto all retrograde. They do this, about depending on the planet, half of the year. And this is just a really beautiful time to see clearly, to understand how we're wanting to grow, and to really understand ourselves. So this is a wonderful season for clear seeing, especially with Neptune retrograde in Pisces. This helps us to really see what dreams in the lived version of our lives really feel good, and what has just been kind of more addictive or a bit entrancing, right? And helping us to see clearly what we really want to ask for. Now, I had a message that came through that I really loved, and it's something I can definitely learn from too. It's this whole thing with self-trust versus control. So often we get tense or worried or stressed because we feel we need to control, right? We need to control our environments. We need to control ourselves as well, right? Like that's really the thing. We have to control our behaviors, the way we express ourselves, the way we show up to work, the way that we take care of things around the house. We've got to have enough controls to make sure that bad things don't happen, to make sure that we're being the best that we can be. But there is that line where it crosses over from just being accountable and being responsible into this place where we start to feel the tension rise, where we start to feel like we have to have control. And I think the antidote to, if you're feeling any of those senses of you need to perform, you have to be it all, you need to wear every hat, you need to be playful and light and joyful, but you also need to be practical and grounded, and you need to make sure you're taking care of your finances and you're independent enough, whatever hats you feel you need to put on, right? When we're starting to feel that sense of oh, I gotta control, this is when we want to come back to self-trust and self-respect. And self-trust is this, I think for me, it's the simple affirmation that when a conversation comes up, when possible, like, we never know, right? Like any given day can give us surprising things. Like it's fire season where I'm staying right now, and any given day I may not be in my house, I may be in my house. It's very, right? But I know that if I get the call that it's time to evacuate, I know that I will take the right steps in that moment, and I will show up, and I will be able to trust myself, right? So I don't need to pre-plan my self-trust, right? I don't need to like sit down and be like, well, am I going to trust myself when somebody comes up to me with a hard question? Am I going to trust myself when I have to move? It's like, of course I am. So I think what I'm saying here is that you have a lot of positive energy this month. It's really, really positive energy. It's also vulnerable because it's asking you to really stand in that self-trust, stand in what you truly want, right? Using that voice, especially during Cancer season. And I would also say during Leo season, as we move into energy moves through Leo this month as well, this is about your fierce self-mothering, shining bright and being clear. And I think it all does just come back to the simplicity of self-trust. And you can trust yourself, right? Like if I sit here and tell you, like, ask you about an aspect of your life that you're a little nervous about, or you kind of want to control, or you kind of want to know the outcome, and I ask you, well, do you know you're going to do what's best for you? When those conversations come up or that situation comes up, I'm pretty sure most of you will say, yeah, of course I'm going to do what feels right to me. 10 of Cups, I love it. Yes, this is such Cancer season energy. You can't even argue. And by the way, this month I'm just going with Animal Totem Tarot. It's a beautiful deck, and I'm just really loving the animal, nature themes, and just kind of looking at things from a new perspective. All right, 10 of Cups, the penguins, that's some commitment energy. Page of Cups. All right. Oh, it's a manatee. Beautiful. 2 of Pentacles. A hawk. Clear vision. There's 2 cards wanted to come out. King of Pentacles, the buffalo, and Justice, the crane. Okay. Well, this is what I will say with these cards. There's not a lot of wishy-washy energy here. Not a lot. There's a little bit. But generally speaking, this energy is about commitment. This energy is about clarity, clarifying. And it's kind of taking me back when I see these cards to how simple things really are. We always want to add a lot of layers and a lot of story to our lives, right? We want to explain away things or explain things into a story, right? But when it comes down to the heart of who we truly are, in our stillness, in our calm, in our magnetism, in the way that we trust ourselves and know ourselves and put one foot in front of the other, there is a simplicity to it, right? And that can even apply to things that on the surface feel very complicated. In its essence, it's very simple, right? And that's what I'm seeing here. 10 of Cups, Page of Cups. This is commitment energy. It's very good news. So for those of you who are in love or wanting to be in love or wanting greater commitment or wanting deeper clarity when it comes to partnership and relationship, these cards are, this is it. I mean, these are very clear messengers. They're not messing around. The 10 of Cups, in this deck, it's the penguins, which are monogamous partners. Very interesting message coming up there. They really choose each other and create a life together. I love 10 of Cups too, because I think for me, it's like the culmination of a long time of trust. Now, here's the thing that's interesting about that, right? Like when we self-trust, it makes it easier to do that in relationships as well. The Page of Cups also brings in good news, right? So this is like heralding in better conversations, better information, better clarity. And I will say with July in general, it is just a clearer, easier month than we have been working with for the last couple of months because, yes, we have outer planets retrograde, but we don't have eclipses. We don't have personal planets, like those really personal planets retrograde at this time. So things are a little bit more, it's just easier to see. It's just easier to have good conversations. It's just easier to make plans. It's just easier to get information. And that is making this a very supportive time of love and growth. And I mean, isn't that what Cancer season is all about? I think it is. It's a magical season of the year. Now, we do have this Two of Pentacles, and, Two of Pentacles is often about us kind of weighing our decisions, right? Weighing out, like, who we want to be, what we want to be. In this deck with the hawk, Hawk has this, like, hunter's vision. Their vision is very, very precise when they're looking for what they want, when they're going in for what they want, right? And I think the thing with Two of Pentacles is always that it's an illusion that we're like trying to weigh it out and do the pros and cons and everything. We know what we want. We have that Hawkeye vision. So trust yourself. Don't try to wear every hat. Don't try to be every person. Trust yourself. You are that hawk. You do know what you want. You do know what is right for you. And you can trust yourself this month. So just remember that in this process as well. Go for it. Go for the goal, my friends. Now, let's talk about King of Pentacles and Justice. These are both very fair-minded cards. They're very grounded. Well, Justice is obviously an air-based intellectual sign, but they're both very rational energies, right? They want to see things through correctly. Both of these cards, King of Pentacles and Justice, want to see things done in a fair-minded way that comes to a clear conclusion and comes to a plan for the future. They come to resolution, they come to clarity, they come to investment in the future, especially King of Pentacles. King of Pentacles is the epitome of long-term investment. In fact, I'm going to read the little message that comes with King of Pentacles in this book. Also, the crane, before we get into that, the crane, Justice, this is getting those answers. Once again, it's like between Page of Cups, Two of Pentacles, and Justice in this deck, this is about getting good information. This is about getting good, clear conversations that cut to the chase, getting clear, good confirmation about what it is you want next or what's going to work for you next, whether that's a job offer, a new house, a deeper commitment in your relationships, a deeper level of understanding, a deeper level of you sharing your voice. Okay, I want to read the King of Pentacles. Oh, it's the bison. I've been calling it the buffalo, but bison. I just wanted to read this. I felt called to do this. Where you are is as good as it is going to get until you can master the here and now. In this place, you have all you need to tether yourself to a past that can no longer sustain you or provide you with the tools you require to build a life fit for the king. The secret is to stop looking at what is around you and start focusing on what is inside of you. For it is the conditions of the inner landscape that determine the outcome of your physical world. Wow. Yeah. That's a really cool message. I love the messages that come in this book. It makes me think about that self-trust thing again. Because life continues to just throw us surprises, there's never I think there's rarely a time where there isn't something that's in progress, in process, in our lives, right? Like there's never a time where there's not something unknown. And so we have to choose our self-trust. We have to choose that here and now, right? So that we can build into the future. With that being said, though, this is a month of commitment. This is a month of good communication. This is a month of answers coming in and giving you that grounding. I think that will feel very supportive of you, help you to envision what is next, help you to embrace how you are growing and changing. I feel like the first half of 2021 has been so much growth and so much change and so much turnover and so much like different. And July gives you like a foothold in your growth, a foothold in how you're wanting to move and progress forward. And that is refreshing, I would say. I'd say that is a very refreshing feeling to have. But once again, here's the thing too. I just want to say this before we close out. I think with self-trust, I keep coming back to that concept. So powerful though. It can decrease anxiety, stress, worry, fear so much when we come back to that self-trust. It's huge. It's really like the ultimate form of self-love and self-respect. No matter how well things are going, no matter how many positive messages you get this month, if you're not feeling in a place of self-trust, it's never going to be enough. You're never going to feel like those positive messages or those good conversations are enough. So, because it can get kind of addicting to get those outside affirmations, right? And I think you will be getting some of those this month. But regardless, you're still going to want to have that self-trust, because if you don't have it, no matter how much somebody tells you they love you, no matter how much the things are going right, we have this thing in our brain that's protective, that will look for the dangers, that will look for the bad things, will look for things that will confirm our fears. So we want to come back to that place of knowing no matter what happens, I will always do what's right for me. I will always find my joy. I will always take the steps that are right for me. And I just want to come back to that, because Taurus, I feel like that's such a big part of Taurus energy. Is that self-trust? Is that grounded, like, oh yeah, I know what I need. Oh yeah. And you're allowed to use the tools that you were given, baby. And I'm also just really excited. I love this energy of commitment, of clarity, of good partnership, of seeing clearly, of knowing what you want. Yes, that is where we want to be, isn't it? Speaking of Tauruses, as always, I'm wearing PinkLune's jewelry. I always have like my favorite pieces that I wear over and over again. You can find her Etsy shop below. You can also find me on Patreon. We're going to be working through this Cancer Leo season time of year. I love this time of year. It's really, really special. I'm hoping to have a special guest on my Patreon this month. So stay tuned if you're interested in joining me. You can also find me on my Instagram and on my website. So I'll leave all my links so you know where to find me and hang out with me, because I love hanging out with you. And I hope you'll stick around on this channel too, like and subscribe. And I'm so looking forward to hearing how June or July goes for all of you. I'm sending you my love, Taurus.